Sister Barbara Reed, a Grand Rapids Dominican nun. I was educated by the sisters of the Dominican sisters in Grand Rapids, so you can blame them for me, okay? But this wonderful nun, Sister Barbara Reed, wrote about when she considered what she considered the best homily she ever heard, and it wasn't one of mine. She had attended a mass with young Catholics who had a variety of physical disabilities. And the homily was delivered by a young woman with cerebral palsy. Her message was very direct and very short. And she said, God loves you. God loves me. God loves everybody. We have to love everybody too. And she repeated that message 3 times, looking around at the gathered community with a smile, with an earnesty. And there was no doubt in anyone's mind that her words came straight from her heart. They were authentic words because they came from her heart. Jesus says, from the fullness of the heart, the mouth speaks. In other words, what is in the heart sooner or later overflows in speech. One of the most versatile parts of the human body is the tongue. It has many muscles, nerve endings, and taste buds. We use it for taste and eating. It warns us if something is too hot or spoiled. We need it to manipulate food, and of course, we use it for speaking. It is one of the busiest parts of the body, especially in some individuals, and one of the most powerful. Today's reading from Sirach in the gospel speak about the power of the tongue, the power of speech. They are about, in a way, to look at the power of the tongue, that it can be in our life a sword, or it can be a symptom. Think about the past 24 hours. How many people have we touched with our words? With our words, we can perhaps give comfort, strength, encouragement, praise. We can sing with our tongue to the glory of God. Thank you, choir. Or we can hurt people, destroy reputations, spread falsehood or slander. Our words can clarify and clear the air. They can deceive and create confusion. Words can cause violence or begin the process of reconciliation. Most of our interaction with the world is through words. We don't write anymore. That's a lost art. We may text a lot. And unfortunately, maybe we're not using as many words as we used to. But pretty much in a day, we use a lot of words. What we might say is more powerful and long-lasting than anything we do with our fists. We can physically assault a person, and the bodily wounds will eventually heal. But if we verbally abuse someone, our words cut into places deeper than the body. They cut into the heart and the soul of a person. And those wounds from another's words don't heal that easily. They stay with us. They become part of our bloodstream, if you wish. They cut into our heart and the soul of a person. And those wounds from another's words, as I say, do not heal easily. We have all experienced that. The old saying to the effect, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt us. That's not true. We all know the damage and the pain that an untamed tongue can cause. If we steal money from another person, we can give it back with interest, and that individual will be made whole again, more or less. But if we steal that person's reputation, his or her good name, what happens to it? Can we ever give it back? Can we call back the words we said as they continue to travel to places of which we never dreamed they would go? They're out of our control. It is like shooting an arrow into the air, and where it finally lands, we just don't know where. The tongue is only 3 inches long, but it can do a great deal of damage and create a great deal of hurt in people. Many have fallen by the sword, but many more by the tongue. The tongue can be a sword. The tongue, too, can also be a symptom. The tongue is an indicator of the state of our health physically. That's why a doctor or a nurse will check as you come in for any physical, your tongue. Not the most pleasant job in the world, huh? But they will check that because the tongue can teach a lot about what's going on in the body. It's also, the tongue can be an indicator of the state of our spiritual health. The Lord's concluding words in the gospel today, from the fullness of the heart the mouth speaks, teaches that how we speak to and about others is a symptom, a pretty good indicator of what's happening in our heart. If our heart is angry, if our heart is unforgiving, if our heart is seeking revenge, it will be expressed through our tongue. It's inevitable that will happen. Next week, we will begin our season of Lent. Lent can be a time for us to look within the state of our heart, a good physical check. Are we trying to clear the speck from another's eye and missing the log in our own? What is the condition of our heart? Is it a Christian heart or a self-absorbed heart? A heart of darkness. We know what our heart is like through the things that come out of us. And one is the power of speech, our words. Are we using that power to heal and to set free, to encourage? There is a great power in the good word, the healing word, the helping word, when we let our words be the words of the Lord to others. A good word, a Christian word to another, has an effect that will last a lifetime. Sometimes it's just that little encouragement, the little word of hope, the little word of saying that you're special can make a lifetime change in a person. If we give our heart to Christ and then speak from the heart, we will say the right thing. It may not be the most popular thing. It may not be the most elegant thing. It may not even be the most politically correct thing, but it will be the right thing. If our heart reflects Christ, so will our words.